Hello, everybody. So, I wanted to do kind of a little impromptu vlog style reaction to the Destination D announcements that were just made a few minutes ago at Walt Disney World. I wouldn't say it was an underwhelming show, mostly because they actually had some legitimate things to announce, finally. Unlike last year where they basically had nothing and were just talking about, oh, well, here's something we're thinking about doing. This time they actually had some actual new things to reveal. Some good, some not so much. I'm going to share my thoughts on all the main things. First off, let's get the quick and easy stuff out of the way. I thought they were going to talk a little bit more about Tiana's Bayou Adventure. They just showed part of an animatronic, and that's it. Didn't talk about retheming Pecos Bills or anything involving the area around Bayou Adventure, so that was a little surprising. But, I mean, maybe that's something they'll announce closer to opening. I don't know. They did talk about Journey of Water and World Celebration. They announced opening dates. Both are opening this year. Journey of Water opens in mid-October, and World Celebration opens December 1st. So, just in time for the holiday celebration, World Celebration will be open. So, Epcot's revisiting will be mostly done by then. So, that's good, at least. Again, not exciting announcements, but, I mean, something. So, here's the big ones that were announced. They also talked about the Avengers e-ticket a little bit. They showed some new concept art. Nothing really there. It looks like it's going to be another trackless ride. We don't know that for sure, but that's certainly what that vehicle looks like. It might be kind of a hybrid of the trackless vehicle and the EMV, but who knows? That ride is still probably ways off, so we'll see what happens with that. But that's all Disneyland got. They didn't really get anything from this event. But now let's talk about the big four announcements for Walt Disney World in terms of new experiences, and they're interesting. We'll start off with one that I'm honestly kind of excited about, and that is Test Track is getting redone again. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while, and if you know me, you know I actually like the current futuristic Tron version of Test Track better than the original. Mostly because I think it fits Epcot's vibe. Because it's about designing vehicles of the future, whereas the original Test Track was just stuck in the 90s and didn't evolve past that. So, plus I like the Tron aesthetic. However, now that we have Tron Light Cycle Run, we don't really need two Tron attractions, so Disney is redoing Test Track again, but this time it's going to, according to them, harken back to the days of World of Motion, and they showed concept art of actual theming around the track. Now, it's going to be the same track, it's going to be the same vehicles. It looks like the vehicles are going to get another slight refresh, but they're still going to look futuristic. But it basically sounds like what they want to do is you turn Test Track into more of a... It's going to have more of a story, I guess. Now, the one thing I'm very curious about is, are they going to remove the design elements? Because that's a huge part of the current design of Test Track, is you get to go to the design lab, you build your car, and then you test it. So I'm curious if that's going to be gone, or if they're just getting rid of the Tron aesthetic and making it actual like physical sets or like more impressive set work. We'll see, but I'm actually pretty optimistic about that. I mean, Test Track up until the opening of Cosmic Rewind was my favorite Epcot attraction. It's still one of my favorite Epcot attractions of all time, but I've been on it so many times, and I'm completely okay with them updating it, especially because it's now technically the oldest attraction at World Discovery, because Mission Space was updated in 2017 or 2016, and then Cosmic Rewind. So Test Track needed an update. The update's been around for over a decade, so might as well. So I'm okay with that one. Now let's get to the controversial ones, and I'm very unhappy about, one I have very mixed feelings about. The first one is, It's Tough to Be a Bug is closing, and is being replaced by a Zootopia show? Now, here's my thought on that. First off, yes, I worked at Stuff to Be a Bug. It was one of the attractions that I got the pleasure of working during my time working at Disney. And I actually enjoyed working that show. However, I completely understand why people don't like it. It is a scary show. Kids don't like that show, just straight up. I can't tell you how many times when I was working that show, I had to escort parents with crying children out of the theater. It happened all the time. So, I get it. Here's the thing, though. That show was specifically designed to be in the roots of the Tree of Life. And it was really difficult to try to figure out, okay, what could you put in there that still makes sense? And it sounds like Disney is just throwing the makes sense element out the window entirely, because Zootopia makes zero sense. Like, what? Why is there a Zootopia show in the Tree of Life theater? I don't get it. Doesn't make sense. It also means that we're probably not going to be getting the land. That was the original rumor, was that we were going to be getting a clone of the Shanghai Disneyland land. Doesn't look like that's happening anymore. And we'll get to what we are getting at the end. But yeah, so Zootopia show replacing It's Tough to Be Bug. I mean, it could be good. I'm sure it'll probably be more popular. It doesn't make sense, but again, current Disney, they're kind of throwing the theming element out the window at this point. Like, they're going more of a universal route where they'll just try to shoehorn stuff into areas that don't really fit. I mean, I still am bummed that, Tiana's Bayou Adventure does not make sense at all at Magic Kingdom. It doesn't. It makes a little more sense at Disneyland, but it's not perfect. But it makes zero sense at Walt Disney World because we don't have New Orleans. So you just have a bayou from New Orleans in the middle of Frontierland. That makes no sense, but whatever. I'm not going to get into a rant on that. Speaking of Frontierland, this is the one that bummed me out the most, and that is the Country Bear Jamboree is getting a brand new show that is going to replace all the music with country versions of traditional Disney music. That bums me out. And it's one of those things where we should have seen it coming. Country Bear Jamboree is kind of the last non-PC'd attractions at Walt Disney World. They got, they got Pirates, they got Haunted Mansion. Well, they haven't gotten Haunted Mansion, but I don't know if they can really do much with Haunted Mansion. They got Jungle Cruise. Apparently, they got Splash Mountain. So there wasn't much left that they needed to PC. And they finally decided to do it to Country Bears. So, I mean, the show itself is going to remain, but it's going to have completely different music. I'm bummed by it. I like Country Bears. It's not a show I have to go see every single time I go to Magic Kingdom, but I really do enjoy it. And to see it get replaced with just generic Disney music, this just country versions, like, I almost wish they would just replace it with something else at that point. I mean, on one hand, yeah, it's good that a classic attraction is remaining, but it's not the classic attraction anymore if you're getting rid of all the music. So I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of that one. But here's the one that I'm actually surprised by. The big announcement, I guess. We don't have any idea as to when it's happening, but they did confirm what is replacing Dinoland. And it's not what they originally pitched. Of course, the original plan, which was announced back in 2019, or no, 2021 was the whole like, oh, we could do Moana and Encanto where Dino Land is now. Or not Encanto, Moana and Zootopia where Dino Land is now. And that's not the case anymore. And in fact, they are doing something that I suggested they do the whole time, which is South America. So it sounds like they're actually going to build a South America land to replace Dino Land. Now, of course, South America, you need some IPs to go with it. And the two they teased were Encanto and Indiana Jones. So if I were a betting man, it sounds like they're going to build an Encanto, probably dark ride, where Dinorama is now. And then they're going to retheme Dinosaur to Indiana Jones Adventure. That's what it seems like, which I'm all for. As much as I do enjoy Dinosaur, Indiana Jones Adventure is a far superior ride, and for them to make a East Coast version, especially if it's a different East Coast version, I'm all for it. So it sounds like we are getting our East Coast Indiana Jones Adventure, and we're getting an Encanto ride too, which sounds cool. They did show some concept art for the South American village they want to put together. So that's it for the big announcements. There were a couple minor things, like they announced the new Disney Cruise Line ship and a couple other minor things here and there, but really those were the 5 big announcements. I mean, it's not nearly as bad as 2017 when they decided to kill off Universe of Energy and Great Movie Ride. I mean, it's sad to see Country Bears and It's Tough to Be a Bug close. I mean, Country Bears technically isn't closing, but basically, I mean, Test Track too, kind of. So it's 3 attractions that are getting redone. One is being completely replaced. The other 2 are just getting major updates that are basically changing what they are. And then, South America. So, I mean, it's fine. I don't think any of this is going to come close to competing with Epic Universe. So Josh DeMauro kept talking about how, we have so many plans in the future and your best day is yet to come. I'm like, cool, prove it. Tell us why, show us why that is the case, Josh, because right now we don't see it. I mean, I'm sorry, a South America land with Encanto and Indiana Jones is not going to compete with Universal's entirely new park. And let's be honest, that's probably not going to open for 3-4 years at the earliest. So yeah, that's the other thing too, is most of this doesn't have a date. We did get a date for Country Bear Jamboree. That is going to be in 2024. If I were to take a guess, Test Track and Zootopia will probably also be 2024, maybe later, I don't know, but we'll see. And of course, the land is not going to happen for many years because they have to do some pretty significant changes to how Dino Land is put together for them to actually turn that into South America. But I'm all for that. So, I mean, good on Disney for making at least some interesting announcements, unlike D23 this past year. But they're definitely going to have to do a lot more than that if they're going to want to compete with Universal. Because right now, Universal and honestly a lot of other theme parks have way more momentum than Disney does. Which is a weird thing to say, because Disney has always been known as the market leader when it comes to immersive storytelling theme parks. Right now, they just don't got it. So we'll see if anything changes. But right now, I mean, some quality announcements. So that's kind of this little vlog thing. Again, I know I haven't been posting on this channel very much. However, Haunt content is coming very soon. It is spooky season after all. So look for Hallowscream and Halloween Horror Nights content coming in the hopefully not too distant future. And I'll try to get a few other little bits of content on this channel every now and again. This is a very infrequent upload channel now, just because I don't go to theme parks that much anymore. I don't have passes to anything. It's the first time in a very long time I don't have easy access to a park. So hopefully that will change, and when it does, I will try to go back more often, but right now I just can't go to parks very much. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next time I upload on the Thrill Seekers. Bye.